right, you want to hear it? Here it goes. Here it goes. Uh-oh. It's that time again. The wait is over. The shoes. Every time I step in the booth, the shoes. I know what I'm bringing to you. I'm talking about shoes. Where suckers know who I be. Now my shoes shall set you free. Give me my shoes. Dr. Shows in my sneakers. They don't my shoes. I got socks all these. Where's my shoes? I can't finish this shit. Are you in those shoes yet? I make rappers cry. Onions. You can't walk in my shoes. Bunions. My yellow sneakers got pumps in them. You can hop, skip, jump, pump, run with them. You can have fun in them, lose weight in them. Sell weight in them, or just wait in them. Have a date in them, hop a gate with them. Bust a gun with them, go to lunch with them. Eat a crunch in them, eat brunch in them. Even get chased by the cops in there.
The words sneaker and head should cease to be one word. Sneakerhead is a dumb title, it's silly, it's stupid, it's an overgeneralization, and it gets perpetuated by local news outlets that do stories every couple of months on the town's sneakerheads or the new rising fashion of sneakerheads, and it's just silly. And these news stories got your 7-year-old uncle at Christmas being like, "So, I heard you're some kind of sneakerhead." And you're just like, come on, man. And on top of that, it sounds like a lame comic book villain. Your friend's like, "Yo, man, you see the new Superman?" You're just like, "Yeah, but it sucks. He's fighting Sneakerhead." Collecting sneakers provides a lot of things. Fun and enjoyment, the chance to meet new people, and that adrenaline rush you get when you find a pair you couldn't get your hands on for a while. One thing it absolutely will not provide is a solid return on investment. So if you buy sneakers, you should wear them, enjoy them, and move on from it, and don't keep them in your closet for years thinking you're going to sell them for enough money to put your kid through college in 20 years, because honestly, you're not. For any collectible worth money, other people have to want to buy it from you, and nobody wants your used sneakers. Secondly, for any collectible worth money, there has to be very few of them out there and be rare. And collectible sneakers do not fall in this category. Every time a company puts out a limited edition or a collector's edition, the internet announces that way ahead of time. Everybody lines up, gets them, keeps them on ice forever, and there's hundreds, if not thousands, of that pair out there, so they all end up being worth nothing. On top of that, sneakers as collector's items are not like coins sealed off by the Franklin Mint that have never been touched by human hands. They're made to wear out, and you have to buy new sneakers. So no matter what you do to keep yours on ice in a perfect dead stock condition, the clear parts are going to turn yellow, the air bubbles are going to disintegrate, and the leather's going to crack and crumble. It's just the way things are. And that's exactly why your Air Jordan 1s are worth less than a Sam Bowie rookie card. So if you want to make money with your investments, stock market, maybe. Real estate, probably. Mattress full of money, definitely. Sneakers, definitely not. Collecting sneakers seems like a totally reasonable hobby until you really examine it and you realize it probably represents some deep-rooted psychosis that we don't even really understand yet. If you're out there rushing to buy every retro release that you couldn't get when you were little and you think you're getting back at your parents because they wouldn't buy them, realize this: your parents are not being abusive by not buying you $125 Jordans when your foot was still growing and they didn't even know if you're going to stick with playing basketball. They were being smart consumers. Secondly, collecting sneakers is just about the gayest thing any straight male can be involved in. And this is no disrespect whatsoever to homosexuals, but no straight man should care that much about his shoes. History. The overall attitude and general disposition of most sneaker store employees is completely unacceptable. It's like the theme song to every spot should be Mike Posner's "Cooler Than Me," because they act like they're cooler than everybody, when in reality they're not cooler than anybody. They're Al Bundy. And I'm not talking about the big chain stores, Foot Locker, Champs, the mall stores. I'm talking about the mom and pop boutiques that carry stuff that nobody else has, and they realize that, so they treat their customers like shit and make you think you should be honored to spend your money there. So, and this doesn't go out to all of them either. My boys at Rare Breed down the shore are great guys. Everybody up in Bodega when I went up to Boston was awesome. But there's some spots where they're so elitist and so obsessed with only catering to the cool kids that if you walk in there, not dressed perfectly, or if you're a young kid shopping with your mom, you just get abused to the point where you never want to go back there. And that's why a lot of these boutiques have failed, because they spend years alienating their potential customers. They have no repeat customers, and they're forced to go out of business. Stop blaming the economy. You treated your customers poorly, they didn't come back, you couldn't stay in business. And on top of that, you're unnecessary. If Nike, Adidas, Reebok has made the product and I have the money, have you heard of the internet? You can be removed from the equation. thing about being a sneakerhead is that Nike has us all by the balls. They're like Nicki Minaj and female rappers, Pitbull and reggaeton, and Lady Gaga and club music, in that they are great at something nobody else is even a little good at. They are so far and away from the rest of the companies, it's incredible. Reebok, Adidas, Fila, the new companies like Supra, they put out something hot every couple years. Nike drops a classic every couple months, and then they drop that classic in 10 more hot colorways that you just have to have. They are so far away from the rest of the companies, they're not even competing with them, they're competing with themselves. Because when you walk in a sneaker store, you might be deciding between an Air Max 97, an Air Max 95, and a new Air Force One. Well, guess what? It's all Nike. And they know this, and they have such a monopoly on the game, they abuse us. They're like a bad girlfriend. Like, you want to leave them alone, you never want to call them again, but they know they got you wrapped around their little finger, and you'll be calling again. Because how many times did you not get your hands on a release? I wanted the Grape 5s, or I wanted the Olympic 7s, and you couldn't get them because they didn't release enough, and they don't do any kind of frequent buyer program for their steady customers, so you didn't get them. Man, forget Nike, I'm done, I'm not buying any more Nikes. And then 3 months later, they drop something that you just have to have, and you're right back in line. It's like crack. It's an addiction.